Friesner was a top criminal barrister prosecuting some of the North West's most high-profile fraud cases. But the Manchester lawyer stole tens of thousands of pounds from his own workplace behind the back of fellow lawyers, and today he was jailed for 3 years.
Yeah, despite pleading guilty, Friesner was allowed to continue to represent clients while he waited to be sentenced, and one MP told Parliament it had brought the whole legal system into disrepute, as Abby Jones reports.
David Friesner knows the courtroom inside out, but today he had a different view from the dock. The barrister stole over £72,000 from his chambers and his colleagues at St John Street in Manchester, where he was the deputy head. He took unauthorised advances of fees. Police say he resorted to desperate and criminal measures when the credit crunch hit the multi-million-pound property business he ran as a sideline.
If anybody should have known what he was doing was wrong, it was him. But there's obviously been a moral blind spot, or somehow lost sight of his moral compass.
Friesner was well known and well respected in courts across the North West. His trial had to be moved to Leeds, where it was less likely he'd know the barristers and judges. Friesner pleaded guilty here on January the 12th, but despite his criminal conviction, he was back in his wig and gown almost immediately, defending a businessman who admitted consumer crimes. By continuing to practice, he could have found himself in front of the very judge who accepted his plea and sentenced him today. That was called a farce by one MP who raised the issue in the House of Commons.
So we had an absurd situation where a criminal was representing a criminal, which brings the legal system into disrepute. Will the Secretary of State look into the actions of the Bar Standards Board and also consider mandatory suspension of those guilty of serious crimes?
After that statement, the Bar Standards Board did suspend Friesner's certificate to practice. It said today it will be revisiting its timelines for urgent suspensions. Friesner's high-flying career is now in tatters.
The public expect people in the position of lawyers to behave in the most impeccable way, and when you fall from grace, I'm sorry, but the punishment will follow.
Jailing Friesner, the judge told him he'd brought dishonour upon an honourable profession. Abby Jones, BBC North West Tonight, Leeds Crown Court.
Elsewhere tonight,